Oh, so this is what it feels like to be in front of a camera. I haven't been in front of one so long I almost forgot. I'm not gonna lie, readers, my creative process regarding my last couple of years in high school was interesting. And that mostly has a lot to do with the media that was influencing said process to begin with, of which there were 3. The Scream trilogy, which was not only the only slasher series that I enjoyed watching at the time, but also taught me how to properly utilize the trilogy rule. Paranoia Agent, which opened my eyes to a whole new avenue of storytelling through psychological thrillers and dramas. And the Saw franchise, which I stumbled upon accidentally, but because of my content obsessions, I ended up wanting more. And since Jigsaw, the next installment of the Saw franchise, comes out this week, I figured I'd spend this Readus Relives talking about my experience with the franchise. Which I have to establish, readers, wasn't terrible. At first. See, I wasn't introduced to this series traditionally. Sure, the first Saw movie was in fact the first one that I watched. But it was in the most unconventional ass way you could possibly imagine. I watched the first Saw movie on a bus full of kids my age on my way back home from Cedar Point. Right? Like, how the fuck does that happen? And I have to admit, readers, that experience was both worthless and lit as fuck at the same time. It was worthless because motherfuckers who saw it already was talking and cracking jokes throughout. But of course there were a handful of people that, you know, cared for people like me who haven't seen it yet. And it was lit as fuck because when it got to the ending of the movie and the reveal of who Jigsaw really was happened, the entire bus, including me, basically turned into So when Saw 2 was officially announced, of course I was going to see it somehow. I say that because despite me being a 17-year-old high school senior, that did not stop my mom from being her usual overprotective self. And of course, I got the ending spoiled for me numerous amounts of times. But that didn't stop me from watching and enjoying it eventually. That happened in 2007 when I turned 18 living in the dorms of the college that I went to, but bought not only Saw 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 as well. And I watched those bitches back to back to back to back. And I would be lying if I were to say that how the overall arc of the first 4 movies didn't hook me in at all. I was not only invested, but I was learning about a genre that I only dipped my toes into previously while enjoying the source material at the same time. Then Saw 5 through 7 happened, and I immediately knew what it was like to feel disappointment. 5 made me not really care about the characters that they introduced to continue Jigsaw's legacy. And the plot regarding the group of victims didn't resonate with me like the ones beforehand. And that's mostly because the characters in that one didn't really grow or change with every trap or every hard-ass decision they had to make. They were stagnant from beginning to end, unlike the previous installments. And 6 even more so, because I honestly can't even remember what the fuck happened with the victim in that one. I only remember the beats that connected 6 to 7. I had to look up the Wikipedia summary to remind myself that the victim that got took was an insurance salesman. And speaking of heartbreak, Saw 7 was terrible. It was said that they took the plot for Saw 7 and combined it with what they had in mind for Saw 8 for one final movie, and motherfucker, it shows. This thing was such a convoluted ass mess, and I hate that this is the Saw movie that I decided to see in theaters. Whoa, why, white Jesus, why? Readers, my experience with the Saw franchise is pretty much on par with everybody else who genuinely enjoys this series. Varying different tastes, the first half of this series was solid. Like, hella solid. Like, solid as a rock. Then when the focus of the series switched from the characters dealing with their own demons to focusing on traps and this uncompelling ass replacement for Tobin Bell, that bitch transformed from a solid to a liquid to a gaseous form real quick. I'll always be thankful for what Saw 1 through 4 taught me about storytelling and just being entertaining movies in general. But Saw 5 through 7 can kick rocks. So here's hoping that Jigsaw will help rekindle my enjoyment of the franchise again. Either way, you'll find out on Friday. So with that, readers, your homework assignment for the day. Write in the comment section below what you both enjoy and hate about the Saw franchise if you've seen the movies. Or if you haven't and you still feel like sharing with the rest of the class, write in the comment section below a film franchise or a series that you've seen that exposed you to something new that you ended up loving. Regardless of what you choose, I'd love to know your thoughts. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and every other Friday. But until then, this is Readus 101. Class dismissed.